Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Chaos Child. Are you ready? 'Cause I'm not. This is going to suck. There was suddenly a voice behind us. Miyashiro tensed in the direction of the voice. Kunosato stood up and glared. I was the only one who was too off guard to react. I turned my head back over my shoulder. And there was a man standing there. I'd seen him before.
なんで僕は碧峰学園の教師だよ。いて当然じゃないか。と、ストップだ、久野里くん。
Kunosato froze, her hands in her pocket. Oh yeah, she has a gun.
上の彼に連絡しても無駄だよ。もうここには入れないし、出られない。君たちの意識をそう変えた。
Wow. There was more tension on Kunosato and Miyashiro's faces than I'd ever seen. The man laughed a little as he saw it, and then I realized that this was the man in my visions. We gotta get our crazy killer power back real quick. And the man in the photo Kunosato had shown me. Shuichi Wakui.
何か用か。
おいおいおい、ぬすっとたけだけしいとはよく言ったもんだ。勝手に人のデータを使っておいて。君、自分が正しいと思ったら周りが見えなくなるタイプだね。もう少し要領よくやったらどうだい？アメリカの研究所でもずいぶん嫌われてたそうじゃないか。
貴様！
ああ、怒らない怒らない。ちょっと小耳に挟んだだけだ。さて、とりあえずさ、みんな適当に座ってくれないかな。落ち着かないでしょ。
Something felt very wrong. Wakui wasn't holding any kind of weapon. He was a thin, gentle-looking scientist type. He didn't seem strong at all. If Miyashiro and Kunosato both leaped on him at the same time, they should be able to hold him down. And I could help a little, if the three of us attacked at once. But they were keeping their distance and acting cautious, as if he was holding a gun.
何も殺そうってわけじゃないんだから、そんなに警戒しなくても。
That's what he said in Kazuki's story. And sure enough, he wasn't.
特に、宮代くん。僕は新聞部の顧問だよ。君とはずいぶん仲良くやってきたと思うんだがな。
Wakui laughed as he talked. For some reason, he sounded like a con artist.
座ろう、小野井さん。
When he heard that, he smiled for some reason. Yeah, this has to be really weird. It was a nasty smile, like he was enjoying something.
小野江さんね
え。なんですか？あなた、私のことを何か知って。
やめるんだ。こいつの言う通りにしてくれ。頼む。頼む。
分かったわよ。
I sat down in a nearby chair. Kunosato sat too. She seemed like she was trying to hold back her anger even more than usual. Wakui smiled in surprise as he looked at the monitor Kunosato had been working at.
なるほど。これで宮代くんと同じノウハウね。いやー、よくできてる。惜しいな、久野里くん。君、委員会に戻ってくる気はないかい？
Oh, get out! Amazing!
黙れ。
She just barely stopped herself from getting out of her chair.
委員会に加わったことなどない。貴様らが勝手に私の研究データを使って実験を行っていただけだろうが。
Her voice was shaking. She seemed genuinely furious.
おかしいな。 君も当初は乗り気だったと聞いてるよ。いいデータが取れたとか言って。そもそも脳に障害を負った子供が何人死のうと、それは科学の発展のための尊い犠牲じゃないか。君は喜ぶべきだったと思うけどね。
Wow, damn, that's cold.
黙れと言っているんだ。
She finally stood up, her eyes wide with rage. But the next moment, with an exclamation point,
久野里さん
she was suddenly slammed back into the wall. It was as if she was thrown by some invisible force. What was that? I suddenly felt a sharp pain in my temples. My hand shot up to my head. It was the same pain as when I'd passed out after first coming here. My fingers tensed up and my nails dug into my forehead. How many times have I read that now?
久野里君、いい加減認めたらどうだい？君がどんな手を使おうと委員会にダメージを与えることはできない。君はアメリカからデータを持ち出して姿を消しておきながら、ここに研究者として姿を現した。当然我々のことを探るつもりだったと思うけどね。だけどさ、魚釣りをするにしたって堂々と表を歩いてる僕に気づかないようじゃ話にならないよ。
As the pain blurred my vision, I heard the sound of gritting teeth. Kunosada was looking at Wakui with an incredible fury.
いやすまん、別にバカにしてるわけじゃないんだ。むしろ高く評価してるんだよ。この画像だって実によくできてる。ぜひ将校軍の皆さんに見せてあげてくれ。
Really?
何？
ん？そんなに驚くことかい？ああ、そっか。君たちは僕が佐久間と同じようにギガロマニアックス研究を諦めていない方のグループだと考えてるわけか。なるほどね。それなら僕を敵視してもおかしくない。
Wakui kept laughing. I didn't know what was funny.
違うのか。私には見えないが、貴様だってギガロマニアックスなのだろう。
Kunosada pointed to the empty space in front of Wakui's hand.
それとこれとは話が別だ。僕はあくまでも委員会に忠誠を誓った人間だよ。で、委員会の命令は6年前の事件のせいで渋谷に大量発生したイレギュラーをすべて掃除することだ。
Then, could we satisfy him by just following Kunosada's plan? Also, if she's looking at the space in his hand, I wonder if that means he's holding a D-sword, but none of us can see it anymore.
ほらな、君らとは利害が一致してるだろう。だから僕には君らの邪魔をする理由なんてどこにもないわけだ。
So he just showed up to be a dick? Do you understand? He laughed.
本当のことを言うとね、実は僕も違反した佐久間くんと同じように最初は期待したんだよ。宮代拓くん、君にね。この渋谷という街でカオスチャイルド症候群が発生したのもイレギュラーなら、症候群者の中から能力者が生まれたのもイレギュラーだ。ところがそんな出来損ないどもの中から本物らしいギガロマニアックスが現れたんだ。驚いたよ。だから佐久間くんとは別にね、僕も君のことをずっと観察していた。上層部の連中は懐疑的だったけどね、それを説得して渋谷の大掃除を待たせるのには苦労した。
Oh, the big cleanup. So this whole time, ironically, Wakui's probably kept us alive? Wakui seemed to be enjoying this, but Miyashiro was glaring back at him fiercely. For my part, my headache was getting unbearably bad. Psychics, gigalomaniacs, Sakuma, Each time I heard a word, my head started to throb. Yeah, at this point, we don't even know who Sakuma is. Something was getting stuck in my memories. Something was intertwining with my feelings.
ところがね、困ったことに君は自分から能力を放棄してしまった。その上カオスチャイルド症候群からも帰還してしまったものだから、僕が上層部を説得してきた理由がなくなってしまったんだ。面目は丸つぶれだよ。
Oh, wow. So either Kunosato's plan had damn well better work right now, and who knows if he'll kill us anyway, or if it doesn't, there's gonna be a purge in Shibuya?
おかげで随分と怒られてね。序列も下げられてしまった。僕みたいに資金もコネクションもない人間がここまで来るのは容易じゃなかったんだが、と愚痴をこぼしてる場合じゃなかったな。とにかく我々にとってはもうこの町やカオスチャイルド症候群には何の価値もないんだ。それどころか佐久間のような輩に妙な研究をされると非常に困る。だから君たちがその画像を使って症候群者を消してくれるというなら。
Yeah, I mean, Sakuma is dead, but yeah, if somebody... That would make us very happy, Sakuma said as he spread his arms wide.
ということで分かってくれたかな、宮代くん、久野里くん。だから二人ともそう怖い顔しないでほしいな。今は同じ目的を持った仲間じゃないか。
I mean, he says this, and maybe he is telling the truth, but he's really making things as uncomfortable as possible.
改めて聞くけどさ、久野里くん、我々の研究を手伝う気はないかい？
断る。
There was no doubt in her voice, only black anger. But Wakui was as unmoved as ever.
不思議だな、理解に苦しむな。どうして君くらい優秀な頭脳の持ち主が復讐なんかにとらわれてるんだろう。もっと対極的に見ることはできないかい？研究者としてどんなことでもできる地位と権力、それに資金、それらを手に入れられるんだ。しかも私利私欲のためじゃない、より正しい次の世界を作るための。
The next world, you say?
聞こえなかったのか。断る。
なあ久野里くん、言っただろう、僕たちは今は仲間だって。特に君を殺すなって言命されてるんだよ。
The look in his eyes changed for a moment. I felt a shiver go down my spine and took my hands off my aching head to grab the sides of the chair I was sitting in. If I didn't, it felt like I would fall over.
くだらない脅しだ。
Kunosato, however, was unmoved. Her voice was strong. Just listening to it made it feel like the terror was fading away.
何でもできる地位、権力、バカバカしい。たとえそれがどれほどのものであろうと、誰かにあてがわれた力などうんざりだ。そんなもの一セントの価値もない。そういった力というのは自らの手で掴んでいくからこそ価値がある。たとえ進むべき道に迷ったとしても、そこに解があると信じて進むのが人間というものだ。
The grin vanished from his face. There was a wickedness in his voice that even I could sense.
それは元から君の考えかい？それとも誰かに影響されたのかい？
さあな。
I felt like Kunosato looked at Miyashiro for a moment.
残念だよ。我々を出し抜けると勘違いしながら、用意された舞台の上でこれからも踊り続けるといい。
Okay, here we go. Huh? Suddenly, Kunosato disappeared without a sound. Except she didn't, but now all bets are off. Now I can't tell what's happening for real. How? She was just here. I quickly looked around, but she was nowhere to be seen.
お前
動かないでくれ、宮代くん。僕はね、少し機嫌が悪くなっちゃったんだ。動けば切るよ。ああ、そうだった。今の君には見えてすらいないんだったね。これが。
Yeah, we don't know what his D-sword looks like. We have to take Kazuki's path for that. But can I see it? I mean, that's a sick sword, but like, how is the game showing me the picture right now? Ooh. Wait, but we can see it? Did he, like, cause ourselves to be deluded so we can see it? It's a sick picture. There was something creepy wrapped around Wakui's hand. It was like a huge pair of scissors, or no, like a creature with thorn-covered tentacles bearing its fangs at us. And it appeared from nowhere, the same way that Kunosato had vanished.
まったく。宮代くんもおかしいよな。自分から力を捨ててしまうなんて。君のことは殺してもいいと言われてるんだ。それを踏まえてよーく聞いてくれよ。
Miyashiro seemed to be judging his distance from Wakui. Oh, that doesn't matter. This guy can just make up the rules. He's not a guy wearing a backpack like Sakuma. This guy can just do what he wants. His legs were shaking a little, but he didn't take a single step back. I felt like I was going crazy from the headaches and all the strange things that were happening.
君をずっと観察していたと言っただろう。実はもう一つ興味深い実験ができると思っていたからなんだ。都市伝説好きの君なら聞いたことはないかな。ワンワールドオーダー。
Huh.
世界統一政府。
そう。僕はね、君たちを観察していて、渋谷がその実験場になりうるんじゃないかと思いついたんだ。カオスチャイルド症候群の症状とされている老人化現象は脳内活動の副産物に過ぎなくてね。より注目すべき点は彼らがそのことに気づかないということなんだよ。地震の際、例の光を受けた連中は激しいストレスから精神を守るために逃避行動に出た。現実とは異なる別の現実を生き始めた彼らは妄想シンクロによって自分たちに都合のいい渋谷を作り上げたんだ。そしてそれはそのまま僕の考えるワンワールドオーダーの縮図だった。
That is a different picture of Wakui.
自分の身に降りかかっている老人化現象という不幸に気づこうともせず、自分は幸せなんだと錯覚し続ける善良な愚民たち。まさに理想的な非支配者階級の姿じゃないか。そこで僕はある実験を提案した。ワンワールドオーダーの箱庭実験さ。宮代くんに関しては懐疑的だった委員会もそれには大いに興味を示してきたよ。
箱庭実験。
ワンワールドオーダーにおける非支配者階級はどこまで善良な愚民のままでいられるのか。渋谷という箱庭でちょっとしたシミュレーションができると考えたんだ。と言ってもまあそんなに難しい話じゃない。要するに症候群者に対する新たなストレステストをしようと思ったわけ。彼らが妄想シンクロで作り上げた平穏な渋谷の生活に対してね、その平穏をかき乱すような事件を少しずつ起こしていく。そしてその事件がどのレベルまで達した時に彼らのストレス係数は限界になるのか。そして限界に達した症候群者たちは平穏を取り戻そうと再び新たな妄想シンクロを行うか否か。
Okay, so the whole time Sarika was working for the committee, it was still to give Miyashiro that sense of purpose, but Wakui was the one calling the orders, and I guess Sakuma just made the kills clever? Was this a triple mastermind plan the whole time and not just a double?
これをワンワールドオーダーの場合に当てはめるとこういうことになる。非支配者階級は支配者階級による弾圧や搾取といったストレスにどれだけ耐えられるのか、どれだけ善良な愚民のままでいられるのか。逆にどこまでストレスをかけると彼らは限界に達してしまうのか、そして限界に達した彼らは自分たちの幸福を取り戻そうと支配者階級に対して反乱を企てるか否かと、まあ僕はそんな実験をしようとしてたのさ。ところがいざ実験を始めようとして驚いたね。すでに僕の出番はなかった。ニュージェネの狂気の再来という猟奇殺人事件が発生し、渋谷は大騒ぎになった。
Okay, so he wasn't part of it. This was just a happy coincidence?
宮代くんのお友達が次々と起こしてくれた事件は僕が計画していたものとはかなり違う形だったけど、それはそれで実に有意義だった。
Huh? Miyashiro's friend did the killings? What was he talking about? Miyashiro was the killer, right? I could see that Miyashiro's legs had stopped shaking. He stood tall even in the face of that terrifying weapon. For a moment I was entranced by the sight.
症候群者たちは自分たちよりさらに惨めな人間、無残な姿で殺されたり殺人犯として追い立てられたり、そういう人間の姿を見て興奮し大喜びしていた。平穏な渋谷の生活がこれほどかき乱されているのにもかかわらずだよ、彼らの妄想シンクロにはほころび一つ発生しなかったんだ。なるほどと思ったよ。これはワンワールドオーダーの理論とも一致する。非支配者階級に反乱を起こすような勇気を持たせないためには、彼らより仮想に見える人間を餌として与えればいい。そうすれば彼らは自分たちが支配されていることにすら気づかないまま仮想階級をいたぶり、時にそれを正義だと声高に叫んで怒り、自己満足に浸る、喜ぶ、楽しむ。そうしておけば本当の支配者階級は安泰だ。いやはやまったく愚民っていうのは御しやすいと、まあそんな風にね、僕はなかなかの成果を委員会に示すことができていたんだよ。なのにさ。
Wakui came towards me, a terrifying look on his face. I tried to take a step back without thinking. Miyashiro grabbed me by the arm.
僕から離れるな。今だけでいい。言うことを聞いてくれ。
No, I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
宮代くん、君が全てを台無しにしてしまった。ギガロマニアックスの件もワンワールドオーダーの箱庭実験も、さっきも言ったけどね、君を早々に処分しなかったことを僕はひどく責められた。まさかあんなに序列を下げられるとはね。君のせいで僕は次の世界に残れないかもしれないんだよ、宮代くん。
That bad, huh? When I saw the weapon in Wakui's hands for the first time, I realized I might die.
もしかして殺されるの？殺されるの？
I really wonder, like, why would I need to stay close to Miyashiro? I'm wondering if he has I don't think he would have thought of it at the time, but I wonder if there's some sort of failsafe that can reactivate Serica. I mean, we can't compete with Wakui in terms of pure power, but mind reading is a dangerous thing. Death had never really seemed real to me. I hadn't even thought about it, but now it was right in front of me. The huge blades in Wakui's hand, and the eerie light it gave off were pulling me deeper into the terror.
納得できる答えを僕に与えてくれないか。どうして君は現実に戻ることを選んでしまったんだい。答えないのか。それなら
Wakui looked at me.
今からでも引き戻してあげようか。
The end of the blades were pointed at me. They opened up like the jaws of a shark to devour me. Yeah, I was trying to understand what I was looking at. I could see his hand holding an orb. Is he going to reawaken evil Serica? And a white light sparked between them as they got closer. There was a loud throbbing noise in my head. My whole field of vision suddenly shifted. I put my hand to the wall to try and steady myself, but it wasn't the wall. It was the floor. I had fallen to the ground. I held my head. The pain was so bad I couldn't sense anything else. One vision after another came flowing inside of me. It felt like my head was being ripped open, as if my memories were being forced to come back. What was this? Where was this? Who was this? No. I knew all the answers. What? I knew? That couldn't be true. It had to be true. I'd seen them before. No, I've never seen them before in my life. I clutched my head in my hands, confused. I curled up into a ball and moaned. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if these visions are real or not. I don't know anything.
Yamero!
I saw Miyashiro try to stand between me and Wakui and get slammed backwards. He was smashed into the floor hard.
邪魔しないでもらえるかな。君には何もできないんだから。
Now Miyashiro knows how it feels.
今頃後悔しても遅いよ。ギガロマニアックスの力を放棄しなければ僕を殺せたかもしれないのに。
I mean, he says that, but he's just trolling. Miyashiro? Why? Why was he trying to save me?
大野へ大丈夫か
For a moment I couldn't speak, but I looked at him and nodded. When I saw him calling me Onoe, it felt like it overlapped with a memory that made me want to cry.
これは
Wakui was frowning at Miyashiro as he held the huge blade in his hand.
予想以上に硬いな彼女は。これだけのことをできる力があったっていうのに君はどうして。
それが僕があいつにできる唯一の償いだから。
At some point I'd forgotten the pain in my head. I couldn't take my eyes off Miyashiro.
僕たちは一緒にいたら何も変わることができない。離れたからこそ僕もあいつももう間違えない。そうじゃないとまた繰り返してしまう。
繰り返せばいいじゃないか。それのどこが悪い。
Miyashiro was crawling on the ground, but he looked up at his enemy with eyes that would never give in to anyone.
男が好きな子にすがりついて生きてくなんてできるわけないだろ。
それが理由かい。
Even when Wakui looked at him with a wry smile, he didn't flinch at all. There was no sign of shame.
そんな理由で悪いか。神様気取りのあんたたちには人の気持ちが理解できないだけだろ。なら試してみろよ。
試す？
僕のことなんて殺そうと思えばいつでも殺せるんだろ。だったらもう少し僕を試してみたらどうだ。あんたの言うことが正しいんならいつか僕は戻ってしまうだろう。でも僕が正しければ戻ることは絶対にない。それを試してみたらどうだ。
Miyashiro stood up slowly, without anyone's help.
そんな口車に僕が乗るとでも？
乗るさ。だってあんたは序列とやらを元に戻したいんだろう。次の世界で生き残るためにみっともなく委員会にしがみついて。だったらあんたを失墜させた僕という本当のイレギュラーを観測し続ければいい。もしも僕がギガロマニアックスに戻ってしまったらあんたにいくらでも協力してやる。あんたの成果にすればいい。
自分をかけて僕とゲームをしようっていうのかい？
ああ、元からこれはクソったれなゲームだったんだからな。もちろん僕は負ける気なんてない。最後の1秒まであがいてやる。
宮代くん、君って面白いね。
Suddenly, Wakui vanished, leaving behind only the eerie light of his blade seared into our eyes.
了解した。そのゲーム受けて立つことにしよう。それじゃ今からスタートだ、宮代くん。
I heard a voice from somewhere. It was like it was coming from directly within my head. And then everything went quiet.
おい、宮代。
Suddenly, Kunosada was back just as quickly as she'd disappeared. It was as if she'd never left.
大丈夫ですか?
Yeah, was all she said. She was biting her lip, perhaps frustrated at how much stronger her opponent was.
涌井はどうした？
とりあえず口車に乗ってくれました。しばらくは大丈夫だと思います。それより
Miyashiro pointed to the PC and Kunosada leapt at it.
例の画像は無事だが、くそ。やられた。委員会に関するデータが。
Of course. Shinjo, yep.
おい、大丈夫か？
ええ。
いきなり中に入れなくなった。一体何があったんだ？
The sound of fingers on a keyboard echoed off the walls. Kunosada grimaced.
重要なハードディスクだけ物理的に破壊していった。これでは復旧もできない。涌井め。
涌井がいたのか？
Miyashiro nodded.
詳しいことは後で話します。先に目的を済ませましょう。久里さん、さっきのデジカメ、動画も撮れますよね。
お前、ここで犯行声明の映像を撮る気か？
はい。涌井は、委員会はもうここには現れません。一刻も早く、カオスチャイルド症候群に関することは終わりにしたいんです。
Kunosada bit her lip once more and sighed a little.
新庄さん、こいつの言う通りにしてやろう。脳内スキャン装置を運び出す手はずを整えてくれ。あれを調べれば手がかりくらいは残っているかもしれない。
ああ。
The detective seemed a little annoyed, but he must have been used to being talked to like that because he went to the other room. Miyashiro was looking at me. I tried to tell him about all the fragments of memories I'd seen, but just as I opened my mouth, he motioned for me to stop.
尾上さん、
何？
案内ありがとう。怖い目に遭わせちゃってごめん。もう大丈夫だから。
そんなこと。
I don't care about that. But those memories...
ここからは僕たちの仕事だ。だから。
Miyashiro looked toward the exit. You can go, he seemed to say. No, that wasn't it. Go home, his eyes said. I had to ask. I had to find out for sure. But my lips wouldn't move, the words wouldn't come out. Why? Why was I...
宮代、やるぞ。
はい。
Miyashiro turned his back and began to ignore me. He followed Kunosato's instructions and put a chair up against the wall.
何を喋ったらより注目を集めますかね。
知るか。お前が起こしたことになっている事件だろ。それらしいことを言っておけ。
Supposedly? My headache had almost gone away when Wakui disappeared, but it started to get a little stronger. My head was throbbing with pain, and for some reason the pain was eating into my heart.
なら、この世界を恨んだり、憎んだりしてみましょうか。
妥当なところだな。それで行こう。
The two of them had stopped paying any attention to me at all. I staggered towards the exit as if trying to escape from the headache. I turned back before I went up the stairs, but no one was looking at me. Miyashiro wasn't looking at me either. I left the basement without saying a word.
僕がこの事件を起こしたのは僕のせいではありません。この社会そのものが害悪に満ちているからです。
I could hear him speaking into the camera below. I was getting further and further away. I was staggering unsteadily as if I was in a waking dream. But I succeeded in my goal. Kurisu would wake up now, and then I could ask her about me. That'll be a conversation and a half. Huh? Me? Why was I going to ask her about myself again? Everything felt so hazy I couldn't remember. Well, it didn't matter. I should just do what Miyashiro said and go back home. My head hurt. I probably wasn't feeling well. I needed to go home and rest.
私の家ってどこだっけ？ああ、そっか。横浜だよ。
Why I'd come here, what the result had been, and even how I felt right now, I didn't know any of it anymore. I was walking through town. It was probably the slowest I'd ever walked in my life. As the sun started to set on the city, I kept having trouble walking forward, but I couldn't stop. I realized that I wasn't supposed to be here, so I forced myself to keep going. For some reason, once I got away from Miyashiro, my headache stopped. It was as if his very existence was the cause of it.
あ、そうか。今日って。
I looked at all the happy girls and remembered. February 14th. Valentine's Day. The day when girls told boys they liked them.
私、あんたみたいなやつ、大嫌い。
I hadn't really been thinking about it when I said it. It wasn't often that you told someone to their face that you didn't like them. You only realize what you really wanted to say after you've said goodbye. Was that a line from a movie? Who did I go to see it with? I laughed even though I thought it was stupid. I was happy now. I bet the old me was a nasty girl who hadn't been happy at all. Yup. But now I'd forgotten all about it. I'd forgotten all about it, and I could be happy. That's right. I was happy now. That was why I had to laugh.
ねえ、セリカ。あなたはどこへ行く気なの？
I asked myself, but I didn't answer. I just kept walking. I was walking in a crowd full of people. As I walked, I stopped being able to figure out how much of the world was real. All the nightmarish things that just happened, all these people were walking without knowing anything about them. Which world was real? It had to be this one. The big TVs were playing wonderful music, and there was a delicious smell coming from the crepe stand. This was the right world. The fun world. It had to be this world. But I knew that this was a lie. But I pretended I didn't, and I kept smiling and walking. I was a liar. Someone who was honest with themselves, like maybe a child or something, might have gone back to that basement. Because this town, this place, it should be so much fun, but it felt so awful. I couldn't find the place where I belonged, but I couldn't go back to that basement. I wasn't a kid anymore. Not anymore. I was a lying grown-up. Suddenly, a scene from the nightmare came back. The fragments of memories I'd seen there. They were scattered about like the pieces of a puzzle, and they were eating away at me. And beyond them, I remembered a tiny little feeling.
これどうにかしてよね。
There was probably no way to get it back. I'd realized that no matter who I asked, it was the one thing they'd never tell me. The memories and the feeling kept spinning about inside me. I wanted to go back there, but I couldn't. I kept walking with nowhere to go. And eventually I found myself in front of a building near the station. It had been 30 minutes since the sun set.
なんだっけ光を
I looked up at a tall building. I couldn't tell how many floors it was. I couldn't remember ever coming here, but my body went inside without hesitation. I stepped out of the elevator and saw a pretty theater. I could see a poster for a musical on the wall. There was a picture on it that I'd seen somewhere before. The soiree was just about to start. Theater lingo that refers to a performance held in the evening. A daytime performance is a matinee. I stood in line to buy a ticket. Luckily, there was a seat open near the front of the house. I bought my ticket and buried myself in the waves of people going into the theater.
ここ確か
What? Something was strange. I thought I'd never been here before, but it was familiar. I'd come here before. I walked up the stairs through the crowd and opened the door to the theater. And when I stepped inside, I heard a sound like something bursting within me. Something snapped within my head. I walked toward my seat. I slowly weaved my way through the other audience members going down the steps of the corridor. The curtain was lowered, and on it there was a projection with the name of the musical and an illustration on it. But what I was seeing was an empty theater. An empty stage, lit up by bright lights. I sat in my seat, and after a while the buzzer rang and the curtain came up. The orchestra played a low sound that echoed in the pit of my stomach, and the cast came up on stage. But my mind was still seeing the same thing. It was still looking at an empty stage.
ここで私は
On stage, the actors started to pantomime rowing a boat. They were creating a delusional world on the stage, filled with things that didn't exist. But I was seeing a different world. It was the world I'd lived in before. The musical kept going, but the empty stage that only I saw didn't change. My memories ached. My feelings threatened to overflow. I'd done something here, with someone. The sadness from when I talked with them was filling my heart. The pain in my throat when I screamed at them was coming back to me. It hurt to breathe. I was gasping like I was underwater. The actors sang, their voices riding on the powerful music. It was a song the heroes sang to inspire themselves and the people before they went off to fight the revolution. The people of this fictional world all lined up and yelled. "Come along and join us," they sang. And then it happened. I saw someone on the empty stage. They were holding something up high in their hands. I could see that it was a sword, gleaming with a dull shine. It was a tool for battle.
それが僕があいつにできる唯一の償いだから。僕たちは一緒にいたら何も変わることができない。離れたからこそ僕もあいつももう間違えない。男が好きな子にすがりついて生きてくなんてできるわけないだろ。
I was crying. It was the same tears I felt on my cheek when I woke up in the morning. I quickly wiped them away with the back of my hand, but they didn't stop. I kept wiping them away, and they didn't stop coming. It was no good. They wouldn't stop. I couldn't stop them. I buried my face in my hands.
後悔なんてしないよ。僕は自分のしたことに悔いはない。満足してるんだ。
このクズ。続き、ずっと隣にいたって誰？
親友だよ。
親友なんていたんだね。あんなひどい殺人を犯すようなあんたにも。あんたの親友って同じように症候群者だったの？今何をしてるの？
いや、普通の人だった。もう亡くなったよ。彼女はこの世界のどこにもいない。
The play ended and the audience gave a standing ovation. The actors stood on the stage and bowed. Alone, I wiped away my tears. I sat there for a long time, unable to get up. No one else could see the blurry world I saw. I looked up to stop the tears from falling down. And the lights on the stage shone down on me like a spotlight. Damn, that's some ending. I gotta wonder if there's some post-loot or something. Are these people going to wake up? I don't think we're gonna get reconciliation, but will something work? Also, I don't have all the tips. I don't have all the CG. I'm missing something. Maybe we'll see what it is. But that was some ending. And there it is. October 2016.